Bum ba da bum 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 bum.
What's going on, guys? It's Frank and Buddy Gaming, and today we're doing another episode of Skywars. We're doing a yap video, right? I'm just gonna be yapping about stuff. But today, I just wanted to talk about this because, like the whole last video was talking about, I'm actually 16 years old now, and that means there's a lot of opportunities opening up for me. I'll be able to start driving soon, and I'll be able to start going to and having a job and stuff like that, But the thing is, I had jobs before. And with jobs comes sleep deprivation. So let's talk a little bit about what my jobs were, because they're actually really interesting. All right, number one, when I was small, like a small child, like 7. I'm not 7, I'm 16. When I was 7, I would do chores at my house for extra money. I mean, obviously there was chores we already had to do, but if I went the extra mile, I would get a quarter. So every load of laundry that I did, I got a quarter. And where I grew up, you could get an ice cream cone for a quarter. So that was very valuable. Nowadays, an ice cream cone is like $4. But back then, when I was a kid, which is ridiculous, you could get it for like a quarter, where I lived anyway. But that was what I did when I was younger. When I got older and we moved to a bigger house with a huge yard, I started mowing for money. I had to get $5. I'd get $5 every time I mowed the lawn, and I'd normally buy Nerf guns. Eventually, all my Nerf guns got thrown away because there was too much shooting of my sisters with them. But Nerf guns, right? I feel like that's what a lot of boys get with their money. When I was younger, that's what I got. When I got older, I think I was about 12, I started working for an older couple doing their lawn care, and let me just tell you, it's the greatest job ever. Number one, the older couple, they're just the greatest people ever. They've become like another set of grandparents to me. They're awesome. But the work is really fun too, because I enjoy working with my hands. That's one of the things I like with video games. I'm actually like doing something, and I feel active almost. And I also really enjoy like manual labor. That's the kind of stuff I like to do. And so I just do this manual labor all the time. I do all their lawn care. They've got a really big lawn and lots of plants to take care of and lots of trees. And it's really, really awesome. And they're really great people, right? But there's one thing about that job that I really did not enjoy. For the first couple years I worked for them, I had to kill chipmunks. Now, chipmunks, you normally don't think chipmunks are pests, but they are pests, dude. Number one, they're just rodents, and rodents are bad in general. But chipmunks actually eat flowers, apparently. And since my employers have a lot of flowers, they want the chipmunks to die. And there is an infestation of them at their house. Let me tell you, there's so many chipmunks there. Like, what? So I actually had to set traps for them. Like mouse traps? I just had to set giant mouse traps because like chipmunks are a bit bigger than mice. There was one trap in particular that was really nasty. You had to put a ton of water in a bucket and then cover the water in sunflower seeds, which would float. And when the chipmunk smelled the sunflower seeds, he would jump in the bucket, not realizing it wasn't solid ground, and he'd drown. And I had to deal with the dead chipmunks. It was really, really unpleasant. And other than that, though, the job was really awesome. And after a while, I dwindled the chipmunk population down enough that I don't really have to catch them anymore. But there's another thing, which was interesting. I don't mind it so bad. But there are some really big grassy bush things in their yard. And they are sharp, dude. They are sharp. So every spring, they kind of grow all year long. And then in the winter, they stop growing. But every spring, I have to cut them all off because they get really tall. And so when I go to cut them, I got to wear gloves. But sometimes I don't wear gloves. And since they're so big, I kind of have to grab them with my arms. And bro, you get cut up so bad. Those things are so sharp. It's like 1,000 little paper cuts. Like, I remember one time in my backyard, there were some, and I tried to rip up them and make like a weird bed thing in my backyard. And my hands were covered in blood. It's not like it's deep cuts, but you get bloody. But I had to do that. But like I said, my employers are such awesome people. And so one year for Mother's Day, my employer, he's retired now, but he used to make stained glass windows. It was a business. It was a thriving business. It was very good. I mean, he used to make stained glass windows, and he still had all his old glass panes to make special windows out of. And he had all the equipment, the drills, the knives, the cutters, and the grinders and stuff. So one year for Mother's Day, every time I went to his house to do lawn care, afterwards we would work on the stained glass window for Mother's Day. And I made my mom this really pretty flower stained glass window, which she still has. I can put a picture of it up right now. And yeah, I made that. But last summer, I had another job. I was still doing lawn care, but last summer, I had another job. And I was working in retail. My godmother has a bookstore, and I was working at the bookstore, right? And it's not the most like fun job necessarily, but meeting people is really fun, especially when they're like people in your local community that you just meet so many people and you get to know people. It's really interesting. But one time, sometimes you get weird people, right? One time this guy walks in and my godmother comes over and she's like, Frankenbuddy. She didn't call me Frankenbuddy. She called me my name. But Frankenbuddy, she says, don't go near that guy. And I was like, what? Why? And she's like, just don't go near him. And I was like, okay. And so I stayed at the counter, and he left. He didn't buy anything. And then when she came back over to me and I was like, so why didn't you want me to go over to him? And she's like, there was something wrong with that man. I saw crazy in his eyes. But yeah, it was really interesting. My godmother is awesome. I really like my godmother. She's pretty cool. But the job, it paid really well and it wasn't too hard, but it was just, I was pressing buttons on a computer all day and hauling books around it. So after that summer, I stopped working there, but it was good. It was a good job. Nowadays, I still do lawn care, right? And I hang out at home. But when I was younger, I used to read a lot during the summer to get prizes. And I still like to read a lot. And every summer since I was like 7, my mom has had these reading adventures where every 30 minutes you read, you could check off a box. And if you checked off enough boxes, you'd get some cool prizes, right? I still do that. It's awesome. And that's during the summer. And lately, I just haven't been able to read as much during the summer because I've been working, right? But nowadays, okay, I'm 16, right? This is not a contradiction. I am 16, but I am in college, which most people are probably going to be like, what? But I take college classes through my high school. I don't know if most people do that or not, but I've had 2 college classes this semester and in addition to my normal high school stuff. And, bro, it can get to be a lot, man. And I have a busy schedule and I hang out with my friends. And nowadays, my job is running Frankenbuddy Gaming, my YouTube channel. But at the beginning of the video and in the title, it says, I'm going to talk about sleep deprivation. And bro, I get crazy sleep deprivation. For daylight savings time, it whacked me up so bad this year. So bad. Like, I was sleeping, like, I'd get to bed at 2 and wake up at 12. It was so strange, dude. It took me a really long time to get out of it. And I started taking some, like sleeping medicine stuff. And after a while, I got it under control. But, dude, whenever I, do anything irregular with my sleep schedule, it just gets so out of whack. Like, if I stay up too late one night, I'll sleep in and then I won't be able to get to bed that night. And then, right? And guys, honestly, don't get mad at me, but what really helps me in that situation is a mellow yellow. Honestly, mellow yellow is one of my favorite sodas. I just gotta have a mellow yellow, man. When I wake up and I'm tired, I gotta have a mellow yellow. I had a mellow yellow this morning, man. Yeah, I mean, but I share a room with my little brother, Brendy Bear 11, right? And he goes to sleep earlier than me. But a lot of the time I'm up watching a Minecraft video on my phone. Like, bro, you have no idea. I'm a Minecraft creator, but I watch so much Minecraft. It's mind-boggling. You guys would not believe how much Minecraft I watch, and pretty much all of it is at nighttime. But when I sleep pretty good. And when I am tired, I get to bed pretty good, but it has to happen at the right time. Otherwise, everything gets out of whack, bro. I had like a night the other day where I slept like 4 hours. I don't know if that's normal, but it was not good. But one thing that helps me sleep is I have a really large Perry the Platypus stuffed animal, and that makes the sleep deprivation worth it. Like, bro, that thing is so fluffy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bum ba da bum 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 bum.